Um, Now I'll talk about the global infrastructure of Amazon Web Services in cloud. We use the word cloud whenever we host a site or server in cloud. We think that it's a virtual location, but in actual the data is stored somewhere. We opt for cloud because we want our services to be available all the time and from all locations or from multiple locations at the same time. Even if there's outage, there should not be any downtime to our services, server, content, whatever, which is hosted in cloud. So we should also know how AWS has created its infrastructure globally. So there are certain terms we need to know, okay, because we may be using those terms when we will go into the detail of each and every service. So let me take you to the website of AWS, and when you enter AWS Global Infrastructure, you have to click over here. Okay, so this site will show you about the presence of AWS, that is Amazon, in the world. Okay, so this is the world. Okay, this is a two-dimensional because we don't have a exact map here. So there are things like 233, 253. I'll just explain that to you. And here is India, where I reside in New Delhi, and it is mentioned as 2. Okay, first thing is, in the global infrastructure they have divided their network into regions, and regions into availability zones, and there are uh, some edge locations as well, which we will talk. So what is region? Let me take you back to the slide. So what is region? A region is basically a geographical area, large geographical area or a physical location with multiple availability zone. Okay, so in India they call India as a one region. All right, so in a country there can be multiple regions as well, but they have used this term to uh, call a large geographical area as a region. Okay, in each region there would be multiple availability zone that I've told you, but in AWS they have minimum 2 availability zone in every region. Okay, minimum 2. And what is availability zone? It's basically a data center where we have kept our physical devices, because behind a cloud there would be actual infrastructure. There would be networking devices, storage devices, security, database. There would be power, redundancy. There would be multiple ISP links. There would be thousands of things in a data center. Okay, so uh, data center is basically an availability zone, and there would be 2 availability zone in every region, and these data centers will be located at some distance, so that if in a single city, let's say there are 2 availability zone in India. Okay, because India is a region. So if uh, Mumbai, where the first data center is hosted, has flood kind of situation, then the second data center will take over the connectivity in case there is outage in the first data center. So there is a high availability redundancy at the power level. Okay, and there would be networking links as well, ISP links. So if user has hosted his site, then site will always remain up irrespective of whether availability zone is down or not. Okay, even if the complete region is down, there are multiple regions. So let me take you there to the diagram, you see that they have given the definition of region and availability zones. So this is India, this is I think US. See, uh, in Europe they have uh, one region in Ireland, one in Frankfurt, one in London in Europe, that is in UK. So if you count, there would be total of 16 regions. Okay, they are adding more and more regions with the passage of time. All right, and total of 42 availability zones till now, and they are saying that they will add more in 2017 or probably in the beginning of 2018. All right, so they are expanding their cloud like anything. So you see US West, they have three regions: Oregon, Northern California, sorry, two. This is the first one, this is second one in US West, and in each they have three availability zones. Okay, in US East they have one and two regions, and in this particular region there are five availability zones. Canada, they have single. South America, they have one in Brazil, Sao Paulo. In Europe, Ireland, Germany, I mean Frankfurt in Germany, one in UK, they have two availability zone in that. In Asia, they have one in Singapore, one in Australia, one in Japan, one in South Korea, India, China. So they are saying that new regions are being added. All right. So this was more about this global infrastructure. And if you look at from the perspective of continents like North America, they've given the details. South America, Sao Paulo, Europe and Middle East, Asia, Middle East, Africa. Africa does not have any till now, but they are adding, like one in Ireland, one in Frankfurt, one in London. And in Asia, one is there in Mumbai. Okay, but India is a single region, and because Mumbai is the location where they have main data centers, they've called this region as a Mumbai, and there are two availability zones there, and this is China. Okay, now at the end we'll talk about this edge location. Edge location is not the same as availability zone. It is basically a different location in the region. Okay, it is helpful when you are trying to reduce the delay in accessing applications or heavy data like videos, because let's assume that you are right now in Mumbai and you're trying to access a video file which is hosted in uh, availability zone of Australia, let's say Sydney. So for the first time the file will be downloaded to your location's edge location. Okay, so if you are right now in Mumbai, so there may be a edge location, let's say in Pune's edge location will download that file. For the first time there would be some expected delay, but next time if there is any other person in the same city or nearby city try to access the same file which was in Sydney, then the edge location will respond. Okay, edge location will be able to provide the same content because it caches the information. That is the edge location. So there are, see this, Chennai has one edge location in India, Hong Kong has one, China has one. So there would be many edge locations. Okay, so they're also adding more and more edge locations. So this topic basically comes into picture when we talk about CloudFront. This is also a services, one of the services. Once we go through that, then you will understand this, the importance of this edge location. So in easy term you can simply call it a location where caching will happen. Okay, so that other users or repeated users don't have to uh, download the complete file edge location will do that work. So let's go back to our presentation. So I mentioned that there are 16 regions, 42 availability zones, and each region has minimum 2 availability zones. Okay, AZ means availability zone, and all of these regions and availability zones are synchronized. Even if there's a nuclear attack in any of the country or region, there are other regions which will take care of the connectivity. Okay, so that's the reason this cloud is very popular. So as a recap, we talked about region, availability zone, and edge locations. So friends, I hope that it's been informative to you. Thank you.